And go! I mean, just look at it. Look what we have done for this movie. Absolute brilliant green screen. Hello then, welcome to Insectiles Behind the Scenes, narrated by me, Jack Perry. I play characters in the movie like Harold Hayward, the scientist, one of the main characters, and other characters like Arnold and Arnie, and, you know, Stephen Hawkins and characters like that. Anyway, this will go through how we animated the insects, did all the brilliant effects, and just how we're just really good at making movies. Here, let me start it off for you and show you exactly what we did to make this movie so spectacular. Okay, so transitioning green screen. Everyone's heard of green screen software before, but not all of them know actually how to use it. But we've both Rich and me, we own the green screens, both reasonable, quite big size, and what we do is we use a piece of software called Zweistein, which I'll talk about later on, where what we do is we add the image or video clip or whatever onto the background of the green screen using something called green key. And with Zweistein, there's not just green screen you can use it on blue screen, red key. I think they're the colours you can use it on. Yes, they are. And what happens is then when you look back at the final clip, which you export it has the picture or video clip that you've put onto the background, and you're acting or doing some sort of random scene on it. So that's how you do transition between the green screen. Here's a couple of clips that we've done. They just flicker between the original clip and the one that changed. Ah yes, hello sir, welcome aboard. So what's your job?
I'm a Terminate No Guard!
Ah yes, hello sir, welcome aboard. So what's your job?
I'm a Terminate No Guard! Arnold, come with me! Come on, we have to go! Arnold, come with me! Come on, we have to go!
In most movies, nearly all movies, there's some sort of bloopers and mistakes. In our movie, and unfortunately, there was lots of mistakes and bloopers and outtakes, which we would love to show you if you wanted to laugh about it. But there's a couple today. There's timing errors, sometimes the green screen seems to turn dark, and there's all sorts of random things that happen. Here's a couple of them that happened in the movie. Well, the movie outtakes. You know what I mean. Okay, so we're starting some of the earlier scenes in the movie when they get to the planet, I think, yeah. And they're just talking to Arnold and all that sort of cat space station managers being his usual evil self and snobby self, and see if you can spot what error in the scene is. Yes, that's right. One of the actors goes out of time. Oh, wait a minute, you didn't see that? Let's do that in slow motion, shall we? Okay, play. As you can clearly see in this scene, one of the actors is out of time, and later on in the video, one of my colleague Richard, who plays some of the characters, says cut, and then I say cut after. But there's but all sorts of actors always forget some lines sometimes. Anyway, it wasn't one of the easiest scenes we had to film anyway, so. But that's a blooper we'd love to have shared with you, which we just did right now. In this scene, when we started and set up the camera, set the green screen up in one of our colleagues' house ready to film, something went wrong. Can you see what's went wrong? Yes, that's right. The green screen keeps going dark when the camera's filming, which is pretty irritating. So the actor eventually has to go right. We have to do a complete different scene with an actor not walking past me, but in a complete different scene because the lighting in the room was just unacceptable and the camera just was not working. It was not cooperating with us. So we managed to sort that problem out, but it was irritating. I think we went through it around about 5 times. I think. Yeah, about 5.
This is amazing. I have to write down some information about the planet. This is absolutely amazing. Just have to write down some information about the planet quickly.
Oh, it's beautiful!
Okay, there wasn't many outtakes of the movie that we filmed and then decided not to do it. There was just lots and lots of mistakes, really. But, you know, it doesn't make us look good, but that's just how reality is with us. Our luck's not that good. Anyway, here's a funny outtake that you might laugh at. Harold's meant to be walking to the space station centre against a green screen, but we decided to eventually change it. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looked like after. You get the interaction between all the people in the group was quite interesting as well, because we're good at making movies. And see how many times you can see in these couple of clips that we say action.
4, 3, 2, 1, action.
And action. Action. 3, 2, 1. Action. 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 Go. Go.
I've had enough.
5. Action. See, we really do know how to direct and do really good movie stuff. Yeah. No need to compliment us. But it'd be good if you did. So, as you have saw in other scenes in our movie, we don't just use green screen to show the effect that we're trying to show on the audience. So, we also use effects called FX Home. There should be a picture of the logo in front of you there. We use it for the explosions when in some of the scenes of Arnold, and when lasers coming out of ships, and sort of visual effects with lights and that sort of stuff. And yes, we also use it in a series called The 100th Doctor, made by PG Studios, which focuses mostly on FX Home for the main effects that we use for it. And we use a piece of software called Animator, and Animator is just like it's similar to effects software called Blender, but Blender's much better. But Animator is pretty good for a free piece of software, as you can use it to make similar 3D models. And we used it to make the ship leaving our planet Earth, and then it leaving and the fire coming out of it from FX Home. It's a simple design, but it takes around about an hour to an hour and a half to a decent ship moving from one side to another. And if you go onto our channel 100th Doctor, we did a new intro to the series, and that took us around about 3 hours to edit and put the green screen and edit it all on top with the spinning TARDIS, which was more detailed than the black ship. But it's Animator's the one that takes the most longest time, and Swicetrine's pretty easier to use, and FX Home's pretty simple to use also. I think for one scene, you saw in the and other scenes, you saw a picture of the creature being pushed against the wall in the laboratory scene, and if you look very closely when Space Manager walks up to him and pokes him, the picture changes from more of a brighter colour of the alien to a much darker colour. That's because we put the video overlay over the top of the image. We started off with the image, using it on Zweistein to make it go behind it so Howard could push it against the wall. And then what we did is we put a video against green screen, which we filmed, which should be here, over the top of the green screen scene, and we added the green screen effect onto that, and then put it over the original picture, which we then erased, so it smoothly fade into one another, so it attacked me when after it stayed still from the picture, which was quite effective. And we use scenes like that for the videos over the top of other videos, such as the scene of Arnold getting attacked by a creature, right here. And here's the scene what it looked like without it being cropped and resized and had the effect on, just against average green screen. So this is the more trickier part we have to explain to you. How we actually animated with the insects took apart a lot of time to do, nearly as much as the movie, but eventually we managed to get it done. So what happened is, if we started doing stop-start animation, we tried it and it kind of failed because of the fact of that you need around about, to get a really decent smooth transaction from one area to another, just from the insect moving carefully and be putting it onto the green screen, it would take about 200 to 150 pictures, and it would be a bit like, so then, so let's just start the animation. 5 hours later. So what picture are you on? I'm on the picture 199. How many pictures left to do? Only one more. Snap. Did it. Have you finished now? Well, yeah, we took 200 pictures, but how many scenes? But we've only completed one scene. What? How many insect scenes is in this movie? 45? That's how it would be like if you did stop-start animation with an entire movie. With a certain smaller project, it would have been much easier to do, but since it was an actual movie, it took longer. Anyway, so we used green screen string, which we wrapped around our plasticine models we made in our art class, and we dangled them along, moving them along carefully. It looked a bit low budget. When you looked at it, it was quite effective. We also used green pencils and more wooden objects to just place it in the insect, the plasticine model, and move it along. And it looked quite effective when we did it, such as a scene like this with the Space Station Commander. And when we moved the string to attack him, and the scene where the pilot's attacking these blue creatures, orange creatures, which then we actually used the green pencil on that. Here's a couple of slides of what it looks like without it, string and everything, and what it looks like with the effect on. For some scenes we wanted it to just, the insects just to stay still, so what we did, we just put a desk underneath the green screen, put the green screen over the top, and just stood them there, then zoomed the camera out. And it looked quite effective when you look at this. So we used cropping on Zweistein to make the creatures look smaller than they actually are, and make them even bigger. Like with my creature, we had to stretch out the size of the JPEG image. I think it was JPEG, or if it was PNG, but anyway, what we did is we added the green screen effect on, then we made the size bigger to make it look like if it was squashing an arrow and the character was playing, or attacking someone, smashing the head through and attacking Richard or whatever, pilot. And there was one scene in the movie where we didn't need to use any of these effects, and we just got the creature basically to make it look like in a forest area, and filmed in one of our gardens outside, and just filmed it going along. And it did fit in with the movie because it was a jungle area. So yes. So it's the end of the behind the scenes of Insectiles and how we made this brilliant movie, narrated by me, Jack Perry, who plays Arnold, and Howard Hayward. Now, we hope you go and watch this movie that just took us a long time to make. Or...
You're terminated!
1, action.